Salt Bae is in big trouble, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm sure you guys all know who Salt Bae is. I don't have to explain who this guy is. I mean, I'm sure you've all heard. This guy, he was like a big thing in like 2016 or something like that. Where that meme of him sprinkling the salt went viral for whatever reason. And if I'm being honest, I will never understand the internet's obsession with just taking some dumb, unfunny joke and turning it into a meme. Honestly, I have no idea what the joke was even supposed to be. It's just a guy sprinkling salt in a goofy way. But this guy, Salt Bae, whose name is Nusret or whatever, his real name, he's Turkish. That's what he named his restaurant after. He capitalized off that, all that clout, all that fame, all that internet attention, and he launched several restaurants all across the world, his main one being in London. And he became a billionaire basically overnight just because of some weird, salt sprinkling technique. But his restaurant in London has seen revenues fall by $4.3 million as the customers come back on their 680-pound steaks. Now, if you think $680 for a single steak is bad, which it is objectively horrible. If you're paying $680 for a steak, you are a cuck objectively. Check out what kind of a person Salt Bae really is, because most people, like, I'm sure of all you guys have seen, like, those videos online, like, trying Salt Bae's restaurant, or, going to Salt Bae's restaurant. I guarantee those steaks aren't very good at all. They're probably, like, above average, but not worth $680. It is basically a daylight robbery. Whenever anyone buys a steak at Salt Bae's restaurant. So who is Salt Bae? Who is this guy? What kind of a person is he? Well, this is him at the World Cup after this team or whatever. I don't watch soccer for like soccer is just too homo. Soccer is gay, but this seems like a pretty embarrassing thing to do. I'm not sure exactly who these guys are, but they seem to have won a very big tournament, and it seems like a pretty fucking big deal. And Salt Bae, some rando who has nothing to do with soccer, no ties, no connections in the sport, just walks down and decides to chew on this guy's metal. He is literally chewing on it like a dog with a bone. Now, if you think that's bad, check out what he does next. Look at this guy's face. Like, this is the face of a guy who has no idea what's going on. He probably doesn't even know who Salt Bae is. Like, just look at his face. He looks so clueless. Like, who is this random guy who's stealing my trophy? And the way he's just pretending to sprinkle salt on it is just so cringe. Like, it is just so douchey. Like, he's pretending like he's part of the, part of the team. I contributed to this, and he even kisses it. So he kisses it and then raises it up as if he was the one who won the championship. As if he was the one who was on the field, who scored, all the fucking goals. Even though he wasn't part of the team, had zero connections to soccer, and literally just walked on the field at the last second to steal all the glory. Look at him trying to, edge himself into the photo. Dude, look at how mad he is. Like, who is this random guy who's trying to, butt in front of me and steal my trophy? And again, with the salt sprinkle. This isn't even the first time he's done it. Just check out this article. Furious diner that's stunned by $37,000 bill at Salt Bae's new London restaurant. So some poor bastard went to Salt Bae's restaurant, probably had no idea who he was, and spent $37,000 accidentally. Now, I don't have that much sympathy for this, even though obviously it kind of sucks. I wouldn't want that to happen. But if you're walking into a restaurant where they serve golden steaks, and the pretentious ass douchey way they cut the steaks, which I'll show you in a bit, no restaurant that does semantics like that, theatrics like that, is gonna be charging any less than thousands of dollars. Like, you already know it's bullshit once you see a restaurant cutting steaks like a bunch of homos and sprinkling gold flakes on it. So I don't really have that much sympathy for this, but it is still just ridiculous. Now let's see what that $37,000 investment looked like.
Social media's most famous butcher, Nusret Gokce, also better known as Salt Bae, just opened up his restaurant in Las Vegas, and we checked it out. For the main entrees, we went with a giant.
So basically, this guy paid $37,000 for some hippie loser to walk up to his table, some fruity fucking twink to walk up and cut his steak like a homo and feed it to him. That is what you pay $37,000 for.
Giant charred grilled 70-ounce tomahawk, which went for $550.
$550 for one steak.
And if you want the 24-karat gold-coated, highly marbled version, that's $2,700.
$2,700 for one steak, by the way, unironically. Like, if I'm paying $2,700 for a steak, that shit better triple my cock size, better give me an extra 3 inches of height, and even that would just be bare minimum satisfactory. Like, to be better than expected, which this guy says later on that it tasted better than expected, for that shit to be better than expected, it would have to be 10x cock size, double my height, turn me into literally fucking Godzilla for that shit to be worth my money.
For the second dish, we went with the 8-hour roasted asado short rib, and that was $350 for 5 people. But of course, everyone's here for this. The food was definitely better than expected.
He always uses way too much salt too, by the way. He grabbed an entire handful and sprinkled that shit on. So you already know you're gonna get heart disease from eating here. So not only do you lose your life savings, but you also lose your heart.
But if you're coming for just that,
What a bargain.
you're probably going to be disappointed. Think of this more like a dinner. Salt Bae's only in Vegas for a month. Better go ASAP.
Yeah, you better go ASAP. You only have a month's chance to waste $37,000. You better go ASAP. Hey, not everyone gets the chance to waste $37,000 on some golden steak bullshit. So you better go ASAP. So, this is another article. My disappointing meal at Salt Bae's New York City restaurant cost $1,400, and that is on the low end. If you see a lot of these receipts that you could just Google online, like Salt Bae restaurant receipts, some of these are going for tens of thousands. Some of them are going for hundreds of thousands. Some of them even go for fucking millions. It is unironically like people spending millions of dollars on golden steaks that taste no different from regular steaks because the gold shit that they put on the steaks literally tastes like nothing. I don't know if you guys have ever had like gold leaf or whatever, but you could buy fake gold leaf at like any sort of like superstore you can find. You could probably like buy it in some like rinky-dink shop for like $14. And it just makes it look good. It doesn't taste like anything. It doesn't add any texture. It doesn't add anything at all. It just makes it look pretty. And it's edible, yeah, but it doesn't do anything. You could literally buy that shit for like $14. And they're putting it on the steaks and then 100xing the fucking price. That is unhinged. So not only is it most likely a scam, it is a scam that people are paying for willingly. I'm surprised there hasn't been a lawsuit that comes out. Now, obviously, he's lost a lot of revenue, and I've read somewhere that he's in a lot of debt. But, I mean, if we're talking about a guy this famous, like, everyone knows who Salt Bae is. Everyone's heard of him. You may not know, like, his real name or whatever, but you know who he is. You know what he looks like. You know the guy who does this gay thing. So, I don't think he'll ever be in that much financial trouble. If he wanted to, he could just pull a Hak Tua and run a crypto scam if he wanted to, again. Be another case of some bullshit internet meme, internet influencer who decides that, you know, maybe it's time to work for my audience. And they almost never get punished for it. So, you know, wouldn't be that bad of a course of action for this guy who is apparently owed money. Anyways, that's all I got for today, guys.